Hey,
Hey, welcome everybody.
welcome.
Welcome.
How are you doing today?
Come on in.
Listen, this is day 16 of the 21 days of encouragement. I want to show y'all my SelahUnplugged.com shirt. I want y'all to go and check out Selah Unplugged.
Selah in the building.
Yeah, I'm just doing a little shout out to Selah real quick. Hey, brother, how you doing? But listen, seriously, I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of the 21 days of encouragement.
Thank you.
The Let's Talk About. I love it when you do that. I promise you, I do. It's just, I don't know.
Enunciate.
It gives me a little bit of joy when you do that. So listen, this has been the Let's Talk About series, right? We're in day 16, babe.
Day 16.
And that means it's like almost over. That's so sad to me.
It's so hard to say goodbye
to this series. I'm sorry, we so goofy. Listen, we love y'all, but let's go ahead and get into this, because yesterday we had a really good topic. We had a really good subject. Yesterday we were talking about love versus lust. That's right. Now. We also talked about loving, yourself and loving other people.
That's right.
But here's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about bringing God into your relationships, bringing God into your marriage, into your singleness, whatever it is, wherever you are. I want to talk about bringing God into that relationship. Because see, here's the thing. He says this. He says that you must first love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy mind, and with all thy soul, which means then that if you love the Lord with all that means he's a part of everything that you do. There's not an aspect of your life that he is not a part of, because if you love him with your mind, that means he's in your thoughts. If you love him with your body, then that means you keep your body for him, that you please him with your body and all of that. And if you love him with your soul, then that means he lives within you. You've got him within you. So here then, when we start talking about God being in your relationships, when you start talking about God being a part of your everyday life, then what I want to talk about is inviting God into your relationship. Whether it's a single relationship, just you by yourself, whether it's what we still call a single relationship where you're just dating someone, or a married relationship. Now, this is, other people say you're still single if you're not married, but if you're dating with the intent of marriage, I don't classify you as single. In particular, if you're dating seriously, with the intent of, and you're with somebody and y'all are committed, that's not single in my book. You are with that person. When I was with my baby, I hated when people say, "Oh, you still single?" No, I ain't, brother or sister. I'm with her. I know where we going, and I know how to get there. And I'm not single.
Back up. He's mine.
Right. So listen. Here's what I'm trying to get to. I know I went the long way, but even in your singleness, I want you to invite the Lord into your singleness. Make him an intricate part of it. Make it so much so that even when you start to think about your love relationships, when you start thinking about dating someone as a single person, not dating, when you start thinking about that, start to, again, like we talked about yesterday, to begin to think, what do I want out of this person? And begin to really pray and tell God what you want in a person. I talked about it the other day. This beautiful chin is a product of my prayers. I saw, baby, don't make that face. I love that chin.
I had to suffer.
Stop saying you ain't suffer
for years because of this.
Listen. I used to watch movies and I saw Reese Witherspoon. Then I turned around. Look, girl. Then I turned around and saw Paula Patton with that chin. And when I was single, I would look at these women and be like, man, that chin is so gorgeous. Like, I don't know what it is about me and this chin, but I love it. And I used to pray for it. And God, because I was sincere and I was making a list, and I was like, God, I want her to have this chin. I want her to have a certain eye color. And y'all may not be able to tell it. I can tell looking at the camera. My baby got beautiful brown eyes. Like, they just a beautiful light brown. And it's just the most gorgeous thing to me. But I prayed for that. I used to, like, there was this girl when I was in high school. or middle school. Her name was Marion. Maybe I shouldn't have put her name out there, but she had hazel eyes, and I used to love looking at her hazel eyes, and I used to want to talk to Marion just because she had hazel eyes, and I used to pray, God, I want my wife to have some beautiful eyes so that my kids can have beautiful eyes, because I love beautiful eyes, and this girl has it. So what am I saying? I'm saying this: in your singleness, begin to formulate your thoughts and your patterns as to what it is you desire in a mate. Because God hears those thoughts. He said, if you delight yourself in him, he will give you the desires of your heart. So in your singleness, I encourage you to delight yourself in the Lord and watch how God will give you the very desires of your heart, the very things that you want. And I mean, this is an absolute product of everything that I prayed for. Everything I desired. Boy, look at it.
A hot mess.
It ain't no, it's a hot glory.
No, you are.
Oh, me, I'm a hot mess. Okay, well, you know.
You're a holy
I'm your hot mess. How about that?
masterpiece. You're a holy masterpiece.
I'm a holy, I like that. Yeah. So, friends, listen, just let me encourage you in your singleness. And again, I'm just talking to singles who have not found the one yet. Start praying. Start asking God or telling God what it is you want and ask him for it.
Listen, he already knows the desires of your
He
heart.
knows it.
There's things that I didn't even pray about. I was just in my singleness, in my room, in worship, just thinking about, hey, I would like someone to hold me like this. I wonder if my husband would do that, or I would like it if my husband does that. And those things, he did that for me. I mean, and it wasn't nothing over sexual. He was just holding me.
Right.
And it was a fulfillment. I was like, okay, God, you hear me? You hear? I didn't even pray that. I was just thinking that.
Right.
But he formulated it in my spouse. But here's the thing. You have to delight yourself in the Lord. You can't be halfway in that thing and be like, okay, I'm going to worship a little bit. I'm going to pray a little bit. But is he going to marry me yet? Is he going to send my husband yet? I'm tired. No, you can't be like that. You have to just be wholeheartedly sold out for him, and you delight yourself in him, which means that you remove yourself from your own light so that you can let his light overshadow you. That's delighting yourself in the Lord. You make your light a lesser light, and you let his light shine forth in you or shine forth on you, and you just spend time. I mean, listen, in my singleness, to keep my mind, I had to keep my mind stayed on Jesus. I had too much going on. You know, my car was breaking down. He wanted me to be vegan, and I was broke, and I didn't have a job, and he wouldn't let me get a job. So I need to go to a park. I would go to the park. I would go to the lake, and I would just spend time with God, talk to God, cast all my cares out to the water, take my journal. I mean, there's been times where I just laid in the grass and just went on a picnic with God, me and my vegan sandwich, you know, and I just look at the skies and just like, man, you are awesome. This is beautiful. Just enjoy him.
Yeah.
Enjoy the Father. And man, he gave me the desires of my heart. My husband is taller than me. I didn't want, no offense to anyone that's short or a short man. I just couldn't do it. And he fixed me. He fixed me up good. He's a biggin, as they would. I'm just playing. He doesn't like when people say that. It's like a racial slur. But he's very tall. If you don't know how tall James is 6'9". Yeah. I am 5'7". I am armpit height on him. But I am perfectly fine with that, because honestly, if he was shorter than me, I probably wouldn't respect him. And my hands, I have big hands, and for a woman, I have really long hands. So his hands are like perfect for mine. There's guys, I shake their hands and they're like so tiny. I'm like, God bless their little heart. But
why it gotta be a little heart?
Because he got little hands. His hands are small. But man, you gotta invite God into every part of you. Don't hide, don't hold anything back. He already knows.
Yeah.
And just love on him.
Yeah.
You know, just see how far you can go in him, and in your singleness, love on the Lord, and even and enjoy God as much as you can when you're single, because when you're married, it gets a little bit different.
It really
a lot
does.
of it.
It gets a lot different.
It gets a lot different, and you may feel like you're in this place where you're not spending as much time with God as you could, or you're not as pleasing to God, because I could spend hours upon hours with him, and now I'm married and it's just different. But it doesn't mean that he's disappointed. He understands. He designed it. You just have to find out how to make it work.
Right.
And you can make it work together, or you may have to pull away from your in-loveness, because that was very hard for me. I was so in love and wrapped up in love, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just pulling away and understanding, hey, this is my time. Or while we're here, I don't have to pull away. I can just be me. Yeah. If I feel like I need to pray, it's like, you gotta go to no other room to pray or worship. Be yourself. And that's inviting God into the relationship. Like, there's no, oh, we're separate and I really don't want you doing this in front of me, or I have to go over here to be super spiritual. He's like, no, do what you're going to do. I'm probably going to go to sleep, but that's perfectly fine. Your worship puts me to sleep. That's what he said. And I sleep peacefully.
Very peacefully.
And it's no reason for me to get upset because he's not participating in what I want. I think he should be in my collective worship. No, that's my personal one-on-one time with God, and he has his own personal one-on-one time with God. If he wants to join in collectively, great. And I think as women, we want our husbands to do more than what they're willing to do at the moment, and you just have to pray and let God bring them into that thing if that's what he desires for them to do. Praying together is awesome, but you can't expect him to be exactly like you. Man, women, for some reason, God has put this special anointing on us where we are prayers and we see what's going on. We sense, and it's not that your husband isn't holding up or covering you in that. It's just we take it a different way. I get, I'm overprotective, and I get, worked up if the devil is trying to come against my marriage or my house or family or anything. And I will go into warfare at any moment. And he's like, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And I used to feel some type of way about it, but it's not for me to feel some type of way about it, because even if I can't hear him praying, he's praying with me. He's covering me. He has my back. And that's what it's all about when you bring God into your relationship and understand how God works through each one of you guys. And it doesn't have to look a certain way.
Yeah. We
try to make things, God being in our relationship or God being in our lives, look a certain way and sound a certain way, and it doesn't have to be all of that.
Listen, she touched on a couple of things, and I'm not going to go back on them. I just want to make sure, man, she hit on that point, and I want to make sure y'all got this, where she talks about delighting yourself in the Lord. That means you're happy doing this. Mm-hmm. You're content in doing it. So don't miss that point. That's a very big deal. I was in that same place. I was single and okay with it. Mm-hmm. I ain't have to have nobody else. You have to be content with it and be happy with just Jesus. And the old folks just say, you got to be happy with just you and Jesus alone. Mm-hmm. That's it. Second thing that she was talking about is man, there is a huge difference once you get married. Yeah. The time and everything that you put into it, your time with the Lord when you were single is not the same that when you get married. Yeah. And even Paul, when he was writing, he talks about it. And he said, listen, the job of a single person is to worship the Lord and to follow after the Lord. But when you get married, your job becomes different. And he said, and he tells us it's different because now you've got a husband to please, or husbands, you have wives to please. Mm-hmm. And with such being the case, then you don't necessarily have as much time to worship because you're trying to please them. Then you won't talk about, oh, I'm missing my time with the Lord, and you ignoring them to please the Lord. Then he also talks about when you're married, having your separate time. Like he said, if you go fast from each other, he said, because you got to give your body to your wife, and wives have to give their bodies to the husbands. He said the body ain't yours no more, it's his. And the body, men ain't yours, it's hers. When she want it, you got to give it. When he want it, you got to get it. It's just It's not even like a task or a chore, and that's the thing I want to deal with right there. It's not that it's a task or a chore, but here's the problem again, and we talked about this before. Men, we have to do a better job of helping them get ready for it. We have to do a better job of making sure that we've done everything in our power to block out everything that's going on in her mind so that she's focused on the moment. There have been times when I come up to my wife and I start kissing her on her neck, trying to get her there, and she's like, "What are you doing?" but it's because I just went into it and I started just, but you've got to...
I'm thinking about cooking. I'm thinking about lesson plans. I'm thinking about, I got to do my hair. I ain't washed my hair. You have women, we have all these thoughts running in our head about what we have to do, and we have to get our mind or our head in the game. It don't take no time for them to get in. I mean, they could have...
That's the way God made us, man.
You could have 20, they could have 20 things on the list, and you'd be like, you want to... They'd be like, let's go. Women, we be like, no, I got to go ahead and, finish this, and no, I'm not feeling it.
Right. Right.
But in that moment when he's saying, our body belongs to the husband and the husband's body belongs to the wife, he's saying, listen, all the other stuff doesn't matter. If you ain't got it done by 8 o'clock that night,
sometimes 7 or 6, I'm just being, as a man, I'm telling you,
you're not gonna get it done.
Come on now.
I mean, if you ain't wrote the paper by now, it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff, all these, heaven and earth shall pass, all this stuff shall pass away. But your relationship, you can lose the house, you can lose the car, you can lose the job, you can lose all of that stuff. The kids will come, they will go, but what's going to remain is your relationship. And that's what you have to invest and you have to sow into one another. If your head's not in the game, move the stuff out the way and get your head in the game.
Absolutely.
Because what matters the most, when everybody else has walked away, he was right here with me. Every step of the way. Even when I didn't want to be bothered, he was right here with me. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I have mastered it at all times, but I understand how important it is for women, us as women, to get our head in the game. And we've been turning our husbands down too many times because our plate is full and we're focused on the plate and not on our mate. And we have to be...
We have to... a t-shirt.
We have to refocus on our mate and not all the things that are on our plate. The enemy has tried to deceive us with thinking that we have to be everything that the Proverbs 31 woman is in one day.
Ooh, that's good. Deal with that.
And my husband, he has helped me with this so much. The Proverbs 31 woman, you're like, oh, man, how did she do that? Okay, all of that stuff happens in seasons. It's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes your house may not be spotless. Sometimes all those clothes may not get folded. Sometimes they may not even get washed as quickly as you want it to be washed. Sometimes you may not even be shaved like you want to be shaved. But all that stuff on the plate,
listen, and to the man, none of that matters. None of that matters. Look, man, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But here's what happens, and y'all miss it a lot of times, ladies, because y'all are focused on the other stuff, and y'all just did something small and simple, and y'all just be like, oh, every time my wife will get out the shower, she'll put on her stuff. And then it just does something to me. When I smell her, and she be smelling all good, I ready for that. Come on. And then she'd be like, man, I just took a bath, man. I can't stay clean messing with you. But listen, you have to understand, it don't take much for a man. He is just appreciating you. He is attracted. And that's the thing. Y'all miss the compliment in it, women. That when a man, when he's like,
when he has to have you, that's a compliment.
Can't stop.
You ain't gotta be on no pole. You ain't gotta have on no matching underwear. You ain't gotta be with an abs and 6-pack, and you ain't gotta have no breast job, and they ain't gotta be extra perky and sitting out. And
look, stop denying your husband simply because of you're not there or not feeling it, or you don't have all this in line, well, let me make it all. We don't need you to put it in no special package. You are our special package. So stop denying him, because what you're doing is pushing him further and further away, and you wonder why he ended up with that other woman, or why he over there texting and looking at other stuff, or you catch him watching porn and jacking off in the bathroom or something like that. It's simply because you have pushed him in that direction, and we've been ruining our marriages, destroying a lot of marriages, because we are denying what is rightfully our mates. And that's scripture. I don't have a Bible. This is my Bible. We're denying what is rightfully theirs. Now again, because he loves you, he bet not rape you and force you into it. So what he gonna do is he gonna go take care of himself one way or another. And that's not the plan or the will of God. Women and men, especially, we have to do a better job, because there's been times where I've missed it, and my wife has wanted, and I wasn't quite there. I was sleepy or tired or whatever the case may be. But I've told my baby, I said, look, if I'm asleep, just kiss me or do something. I'll wake up.
Lying.
Come on. So what I'm saying, men, is we also got to be ready. We've also got to be vigilant. And then, men, the other half of it is we have to understand the process of the women. We talked about this on another day when we were talking about intimacy. We've got to make sure that we are complimenting them throughout the day, that we're doing the little things that get them in the mood, that get them right. You know, here's the thing, ladies, I also want y'all to understand this. And man, I'm sharing so much information with y'all, because a lot of this throughout this series is stuff that's in my book, my new book that I'm working on. But here's the thing that I want y'all to understand, ladies. When we are single as men, when we are single, everything that we do, when we wash our car, when we make sure that we look good, smell good, get the haircuts and all of that kind of stuff, when we're doing all of that, we're doing it so that in the end we can get the woman and get her to eventually make love to us. It does not change because we get married. We still are doing all of that simply because we want the woman to, at the end of it all, give us the goods. Now, we do it also out of love. It is out of love. We do it because we love you. We do it because we know it needs to be done, and because we want you to be happy. But also understand what I'm saying here. It's also done so that when at the end of it all, you'll be more receptive and open to the idea of us making love to you.
But as women, this is where we feel like that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. When I first explained that to my wife, she like, hold up.
What?
Washing the dishes and all that. That was you you're supposed to clean up around here.
He's supposed to help.
But here's the thing. As men, it doesn't change in our mind just because we've gotten married. We doing all of this because we expect a reward in the end. We expect something good. And you say, oh, that sounds so childish. That sounds so immature. But that's how you raise your son. That's how you raise your son. So why does it change for us just because we grow up? It doesn't. So here's what I want y'all to understand is again, when he's doing all of this, he's doing it because he loves you and because he wants you to be more open to the idea of making love to him. Plain and simple. But here's the thing, ladies, again, we have to, we started this whole thing today talking about bringing God into it. And so now we've dealt with some singles, and let me talk with the married. We've been talking with married, but let me talk about bringing God into that. Now, as a married couple, we've got to start praying together and say, God, help us to be more on one accord. God, help us to not miss the signs, the signals. God, help us to be more in tune with one another so that, God, when she's feeling something, I notice it. I'm there and I got her back.
And let me say this right here. I hear and I see in the spirit there's some women that feel like, well, I'm doing everything. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, and he's not helping. He's not doing anything. Listen, the simple solution is, did you ask? Did you ask? Many times Men are not good at reading body language. They are not good at all. Women, we can read each other's body language, but men, they are not. They're not good. You have to be straightforward, straight to the point. They don't help because you didn't ask. You have not because you ask not. If you don't ask, he's going to sit on the couch and he's going to watch movies and watch TV and chill. And he thinks you got it all together. You in there mopping with an attitude and you walk through there. I've been there. But when God showed me, I just need to ask. He's like, okay, babe, what else you need me to do? He goes to do whatever I ask him to do. He may go sit back down. I give him something else to do. He goes and do it and sits back down. That clears up a lot of space and keeps us from being resentful when he does come in and he's like, hey, you woke? And you're like, I'm tired.
Right.
You ain't did nothing all day. Right. I ain't finna do nothing.
And here's the other thing, you have to understand that there is an ingrained thing. I don't know where it came from. That just seems to be within a lot of men. And that is quite simply this. They feel like, look, I done worked hard all day, done brought money in this house, made sure you got a roof over your head, bills paid, all of that. Don't ask me to do nothing else. Mm-hmm. And that's the mentality of some men. And if that is the mentality of your man, then you have to then understand and get to a place where you recognize and realize some men's contribution is different. Mm-hmm. Now, honestly, some men just ain't good at cleaning. They don't know how to clean. Their mama may have never even taught them really how to clean. And if that's the case, just know who you've married. Mm-hmm. And just understand that he has a contribution that he can bring into the marriage just in a different way. Mm-hmm. And that's again where you have to work on it and make sure you bring God into it so that God can work on your mind, because there are some things that you're going to see that you're not going to like, and only God can help you with it in your mind, because for him, this is the way it is. This is the way he saw it. This is the way it's always been. Mm-hmm. He don't know no other way. Mm-hmm. And women, you also have to, again, also pray for God to work on your mind, because for you saw your mama be frustrated with your daddy. You saw grandma be frustrated and just always at your granddaddy and all that. And you just think that's the way it's supposed to be. But God says, no, not so. Mm-hmm. Remember what we said yesterday. The children pick up from the examples that are set before them. If you want it to change, invite God in. Begin to pray. Pray for your spouse. Even, that scripture that says that the praying wife can sanctify the unbelieving husband, it goes deeper than just, he's not saved and I'm trying to get him saved. It's his mindset ain't in the right way about this thing like mine is, and I need to help him get his mind right. So I'm going to pray him through this thing.
Managing money, it's all of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
Look, we have to stop putting limits on God and our prayers. God's able to change a lot of things, do a lot of things. But first, we've got to go to him in prayer, knowing and believing that he is able to do it and he will do it. God. He wants to do it. He said, first, if you're going to come to me, you must believe that I am, and that I am a rewarder of them that diligently seek me. So keep on bringing your husband before the Lord. Keep on bringing your wife before the Lord. Yeah. Don't always feel like you got to go bring them up to them, because that gets old real quick, and they will that will turn them away from you quickly. Mm-hmm. That's all I got, man.
And you're killing the intimacy because you're carrying and harboring all of this weight on your shoulders. Mm-hmm. She's bringing me up to me. He won't help me. So it's all of this conflict in your spirit where you haven't brought God into the relationship, or you're just you're bringing it to God, but you're frustrated. Yeah. And you can't enjoy the fullness of intimacy because your mind is so focused on what has happened in the past. Yeah. And listen, you have to, as soon as you get angry, you have to forgive fast.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
You have to. If you want a lasting marriage, if you want a good marriage in the future, you have to learn how to forgive quickly.
Absolutely.
Listen, your toes may get stepped. I'm not going to promise you that your toes won't get stepped on, that your feelings won't get hurt. that they may do something that'll disappoint you, and you never thought that they would do it that way.
Right.
But that should never cause the love to fade, and that should never cause you not to forgive them.
Yeah.
And that's just it. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And when you bring God and forgiveness and love and truly understanding what He has called you to do in marriage, in your family, even with friendships, invite God into your friendships.
Yes.
We have to be better with relationships and how we deal with people, with people in general.
Yeah.
But most of all, in your singleness, in marriage, make sure that you keep Him as the center.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
As the center. You may not be able to steal away for 3 hours at a time and be in your prayer closet, but you should practice His presence throughout the day.
Yeah.
Practice talking to Him throughout the day. Man, and you will see a difference.
Absolutely.
You will see a difference in your life. And listen for His voice.
Yeah.
Look for Him.
Yeah.
And you will find Him.
Yeah. If you seek, knock, and the door shall be open. Listen, seek and you shall find. That's scripture. I just wanted to quote that. Friends, listen, I pray that something was said today that blessed you, that encouraged you. And we got so much more on this. I mean, man, we could go on, but I just looked at the timer and we're almost at 30 minutes. So, listen, we're going to go ahead and cut this, but know that we love you.
We love you.
We thank God for you. We're praying for each and every one. I guarantee you, before I go to sleep, I'm like, Lord, everybody who watching this, I'm praying for you. I'm not just saying that to say it. I really am praying for you because I want to see God's very best in your life. I want to see you have a fruitful and productive marriage. I was just telling my sister a few minutes ago, I wish that all my friends were married and happy like I am, experiencing this. That's my prayer.
Yeah.
I hate that all my friends are pretty much single. You know, my close friends are all single. I got some married friends, but I'm talking about my close ones, close ones. They're single, not married. I prayed marriage over them, and I'm praying for you. Each and every one of you. You're not married, I'm praying for you. If you are married, I'm praying for you too. I want you to have a healthy marriage. God desires that.
Yeah.
Man, I want to see some more godly unions. We love you, man. Y'all are so. This is just so heavy on my heart. I'm so glad we're doing this.
I am too.
I couldn't imagine doing this without you, girl. You know that?
That's good.
All right. We love y'all. Y'all be blessed.
Do it without my chin.
I wish you would. No.
Y'all be blessed.
Y'all be blessed. Taking that chin away from me.